being 32 is lit. But more importantly, I was talking to a close friend the other day, and they said something that, like, the metaphor they used just made something click even more for me than, like, I already have. And I've been using it with my clients too, and it was about storms. I believe it was water buffalo and horses were the two different animals. And if you see this, friend, and would like to correct, I'm not just going to put your information out there because I didn't ask, but if you would like to correct me if I'm wrong, please do. Anybody. But in it was that, and when there's a storm coming, water buffaloes run towards the storm, right? Pretty much like, let's get this shit done over with. We're going here. We have our strength, yada, yada. Horses run away from that bitch in the process, and it kind of reminds me of anxiety, right? Not only are we living that experience when we live it, but when we start to reminisce or even start to like try to plan for every possibility, we're exhausting ourselves. We're using resources on illusions before we even know what's happening, right? So think of all the time those horses spend running, along with all the time they're going to spend in the storm. Once the storm, because it's going to catch up to them, right? Because nature going to do what nature does. And think about the water buffalo and how much energy they spend if they lean into the problem. I think that's just kind of a metaphor for life, right? If we lean into our changes, yes, it's going to hurt. Yes, it's going to be unpredictable. But then once we're able to establish some safety and some grounding on the other side, it'll be okay, right? But when we try to run from these changes, or we try to force everything to be the same, we're essentially going to cause ourselves more energy, more grief, more pain. And something that came to me while I was journaling was, you prayed for the miracle, so why are you fighting the process? You've prayed for the miracle, so why are you fighting the process? Because how can you say you want a specific thing, and then when the changes that you know need to be made start to happen, you want to resist it, or you want to try to control how it happens? What would happen if you just surrendered and leaned in? I'm just saying. I challenge you to give it a try. Happy Wednesday.